dancers so far upstage they were practically in the dressing rooms, and moved the chorus girls so close to him he could count their eyelashes. Now the audience won't be able to see me, Alice complained. I might as well be singing off stage. What a great idea, Alice. Mel beamed. Take 5. Take 5. Take 5. But the real trouble started when the leading man cancelled. Your leading man can't make it for the opening weekend, a cast member told Alice. He got a part in a movie. He's cancelling at the last minute? Alice cried. Would you pass up the chance to be brutally murdered by Charles Bronson? The dancer asked. We have no lead, Mickey panicked. But wait. I have a friend in town, Joel Grey. Who? Mel asked. Joel Grey, the Oscar winner. Cabaret, Mickey shouted. Never heard of him, Mel grunted. But don't worry, I got a guy. Jimmy Prescott. Who? Mickey asked. Jimmy. He's a bookie, Mel insisted. But he sings tenor like an angel. The showdown took place on the stage of the Little Palace Theatre. On one side, Joel Grey, a legend of stage and screen, volunteering his time. On the other, Jimmy Prescott, a man who took bets on horses and sang Swanee at parties. Mel, this is embarrassing, Alice hissed. Joel Grey is a very well-known person. 9. When I see, where, who saw. Are you telling me that Jimmy isn't well-known? Mel retorted. I know 100 guys that owe Jimmy money. I'll audition them both, Mel declared magnanimously. Fair is fair. Jimmy Prescott went first. He belted out Swanee with the subtlety of a foghorn. Mel wept. So moving. Then Joel Grey stepped up. He sang. He danced. He turned the empty stage into a Broadway palace with nothing but his voice and a chair. It was masterful. It was undeniable. Mel sat back, chewing a toothpick. Are you satisfied? The choice is pretty obvious, Alice beamed. No contest. You're right, Mel said. Jimmy Prescott. Mel, Alice screamed. This isn't fair. Okay. I'll flip a coin, Mel shouted. Heads, it's Jimmy. Tails, it's Dennis Day. I mean, Joel Grey. Dennis, Joel Grey. Dennis, he flipped the coin. It spun in the air, catching the stage lights a silver disc, deciding the fate of Alice's career. Mel's investment. And the sanity of everyone involved. The coin hit the floor. Mel peered at it. Heads. Mel announced. Joel Grey, a true professional, simply picked up his jacket. Thanks for watching, he said, and walked out of the strangest chapter of his career. Alice stood center stage, looking at her bookie leading man and her cook producer. The show would go on. It would probably be a disaster. But at Mel's diner, disaster was just the daily special. Part 3. The Deception of the Groom. Chapter 13. The Ghost of Flatbush. The dust from the musical disaster had barely settled when the bell above the diner door jingled, announcing a visitor who would drag Mel Sharples back to his roots and his deepest insecurities. Mel was in the kitchen, aggressively flipping a burger, when a voice boomed from the entrance. Mel? Mel Sharples? Mel froze. He peered through the pass-through. Standing there was a man who exuded the kind of flashy confidence Mel usually only saw on TV. Game show hosts. Gordy? Mel whispered. Gordy Ravachat? Oh, you dirty rat. Mel wiped his hands on his apron, a nervous sweat breaking out on his upper lip. Gordy Ravachat. The man who had haunted his high school memories. What are you doing here in Phoenix? Mel asked, trying to sound casual. Hey, I couldn't come to Phoenix without seeing my good old friend from Brooklyn. Gordy beamed. Gordy wasn't alone. Clinging to his arm was a woman who looked like she had walked out of a magazine ad. I'd like you to meet my girlfriend, Lynette Lacey, Gordy announced proudly. Mel shook hands, but his eyes were drawn to the massive rock on Gordy's finger. Gordy noticed the stare immediately. Can't play stickball anymore, Gordy sighed theatrically. Blister from my diamond ring. I bet it wasn't easy, centering that diamond right on the tip of the lizard's tongue. Mel quipped, his jealousy leaking out. I put all my money into gold, Gordy bragged. It's here in Phoenix. I got it safe in the back. Mel felt small. In the old neighborhood, they had nicknames. Gordy was the Stick. Mel was the Stoop. The Stick had clearly won at life. He had the gold, the diamond, and the girl, so Gordy grilled him. You married yet? Still a holdout? The lie formed in Mel's throat before he could stop it. It was a defense mechanism, a shield against 30 years of feeling like the Stoop. Oh, yeah, Mel lied. I got a beautiful blonde that's crazy about me. Alice, who was bussing a nearby table, dropped a fork. A blonde? Gordy raised an eyebrow. You? Yeah, Mel doubled down. Crazy about me. That's fantastic. Gordy clapped him on the back. We'll meet you at the Camelback Inn, say, around 8 o'clock. And bring your girl. I gotta see this. Gordy and Lynette swept out of the diner, leaving Mel standing in the wreckage of his own fabrication. Mel, Alice said, crossing her arms. Where are you going to find a beautiful blonde girlfriend by tonight? Mel's eyes scanned the room. They landed on Jolene. Chapter 14. The Art of the Deal. The negotiations took place in the break room, and they were fiercer than any union strike. Mel was desperate. Jolene, Mel pleaded. How would you like to have a date with the pride of Phoenix? I thought you wanted Jolene to go out with you, Alice deadpanned. I need a favor, Mel confessed. For that kind of acting, I'd get an Academy Award, Jolene drawled. Alice stepped in as the mediator. She knew Jolene had been desperate to take time off to visit her grandparents for their 50th anniversary in Myrtle Point, a request Mel had denied just hours earlier. Maybe we could work something out, Alice suggested. Like you let Jolene go back home, in exchange for her going out to dinner with you tonight. Mel grimaced. That's blackmail. It's business, Alice corrected. All right, you get 3 days off, Mel offered. 7. Jolene counted immediately. 6. Mel haggled. And I buy the bus ticket. Deal. Jolene smiled. But you've got to wear something black and sexy. Wait, I mean I wear the dress. You pay for it. That night, at the Camelback Inn, the performance was spectacular. Jolene, draped in a gown Mel had paid for through gritted teeth, hung on Mel's arm. Fate, fate. Mel bragged to Gordy, sweating in his suit. Jolene just walked into my diner. And just like that, we found. You got yourself a smart one, Mel, Gordy noted. She spells. Mel was feeling confident. He had pulled it off. The Stick was impressed. But Gordy Ravachat was not a man to be outdone. He stood up, clinking his glass. Since this is our last night in Phoenix, Gordy announced, I have an announcement to make. Lynette and I are engaged. Congratulations, Mel said, relieved the night was over. I'm up to 4 weddings, Mel. Actually, Gordy continued. We are skipping right past the engagement, and we're going right to the wedding. In hours. A shame we won't be able to make it, Mel said quickly. Nonsense, Gordy waved a hand. We'll stay an extra night on my account. We want to congratulate the new Mr. and Mrs. Sharples in person. Mel choked. Mr. and Mrs. Sharples? Yeah. Gordy grinned. You two get married too. A double wedding. Back at the diner, the panic set in. Mel, I can't believe you're going through with this wedding, Alice scolded. It's wrong. If Gordy gets back to Brooklyn, he's gonna tell everybody that Mel Sharples is not a loser. Mel insisted. I am not marrying you, Jolene stated flatly. It's a fake wedding, Mel hissed. We pretend. Gordy lives happy. You get your trip. The price just went up. Jolene crossed her arms. That bus ticket was for the dinner date. For a wedding? I want a plane ticket. A plane ticket. Mel screeched. Take it or leave it, Jolene said. If we can pretend to get married, you can pretend you're flying. Fine, Mel roared. 1 round-trip plane ticket. Chapter 15. The mock wedding. The ceremony was held in the diner the next day. It was a hasty affair, organized with the precision of a bank robbery. Let's get organized, Mel barked. I will handle the music. Henry, do you know what you're supposed to do?